Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I'm bringing back one of my old little series that I haven't done for a long time, and that is my pet peeves videos, where I pick a subject and have a bit of a moan about it because I'm just an old person. And today I'm talking about console versus PC. Because I know there are people out there who are a bit like, oh, PC gaming is better or console gaming is better. And like sort of, the whole PC master race and all that kind of nonsense. So, yes. Wow. I will admit that, yes, I am a console gamer. But I have dabbled a little bit with PC gaming. But I will admit, I think it only extended as far as, the first Sims game way back in the early 2000s, but that was mainly because I think it was around, I want to say maybe 2001-ish, around that sort of time. I actually saved up and bought my own first PC. It was at the time it was something ridiculously cheap, like about 200 and something pounds, and it was bought from Argos. It was yes, it was a low end sort of machine, but it was a case of I could do word processing and I was able to access the internet on it, which was the main two things I wanted at the time. Everything else I wasn't that fussed about. I thought, as long as I can access Word or an equivalent to do my fan fiction writing, and I can get onto the internet to sort of look at, go to the various fandom spaces that existed at the time, like Yahoo groups and fanfiction.net, sort of those kind of places. It was anything else it can do, it's a bonus, and yeah, I think I got given a copy of The Sims by, I think it was my dad gave it to me because he'd gotten a PC about the same time, and that had been bundled with it, and he was like, I'm not a gamer, there you go. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my PC gaming. But I've just I prefer console gaming because I think out of the two, because of obviously PCs have gotten more high tech and fancy and all singing and all dancing, sort of consoles generally tend to be more accessible to a lot more people. I mean, I'm talking about sort of probably the previous generation consoles, but generally speaking, sort of, a brand new console, I know with the PS5, that was about what, 500-600 quid, about something daft like that. But I think generally speaking, brand new consoles tend to be, I think, back around about sort of £400-ish now. I think, give or take, because I know obviously as the newer generations do tend to creep up now, but I think in comparison consoles are more accessible, whereas if you want a really good gaming PC you are looking at thousands of pounds, and people can't always afford that. And it annoys me a little bit when PC gamers are like, oh well, why don't you just get a gaming rig? And it's yeah, but if someone's can only afford to say spend a couple of £100 on a console, which is pretty much I suppose ready to go. Whereas with a PC, if you want a really good one, sort of you either, you need to get either either way you'll be spending thousands on either a sort of bog standard pre-built one or building it yourself. And it's yeah, not everyone has that luxury of being able to do that. Or they might not have access to places like Novatech to sort of go in and order one, or they might not, may not have very good internet, so they might not be able to order anything decent online, things like that, so it's whereas they might be able to go up the road and be oh, I can go and literally pick up a console and off I go, And also there's the whole thing with sort of consoles when you buy them second hand. It's you can get them as cheap as like, well, depending on the sort of like model of the console, and sort of, well, the console, the sort of model of it, whether it's like like for example, like with the PlayStations, you get the big chunky one, then you might get the Pro or the Slim one. So like, even then they can sort of range from maybe about 100 to 150 for like starting price for second hand. Again, it's more of an accessibility thing. So it's like, stop being a snob. If people want to play console because it's either, due to like sort of money reasons, or, maybe due to, say, like, illness or disability, they just find it easier to like deal with the controls rather than fiddle with a keyboard, things like that. It's just like, let them. And also another point is like, probably going on for that, is some people just prefer console, because it's like, I think, okay, a little bit of it might just be laziness because I've kind of got used to console gaming, but it's like, I prefer that. But at the same time, there's going to be other people who are the other way round. It's like, they might prefer PC gaming because that's what they grew up on and that's what they're used to playing, which is also fine. Before anyone has a wobble, And also with like sort of, sometimes with, I mean, I don't know if this is such a thing with PC gaming, but I know with consoles you get like exclusives. Like, I know that it was like, sort of sometimes PlayStation might get certain games first, or Xbox might get certain games first before they then get released everywhere else. Or you get sort of other games like the very first Saints Row game, which only ever came out on Xbox. Was it Xbox and PC, or just Xbox? One of the two. I don't think it ever came out on PlayStation that I know of. So, yeah, some people might do it because of that, saying, oh, I'd prefer to buy, that one or this handheld, because they tend to do more exclusives that other sort of places don't get. So that's good too. So it's like, ultimately, I'm of the attitude of let people play what they want. And all these people who are out here saying, oh, well, this console is better, or this handheld is better, or PC is better. It's like, fine, you can have that opinion, but don't use it to be a dick to other people. It's like, if they're happy playing whatever, just leave them alone. It's like, yes, one day I would like to get a decent gaming rig so I can start playing certain games, because I know there's like, with the Fallout games on PC, a lot of them do have like really good mods. So it's like, especially for like Free in New Vegas, because obviously the mods for that aren't available on console. It's like, for me, it would be nice to one day, get a decent enough rig that I can then get on there and play the games and start messing around with the mods. So, because the laptop I've got it's functional, it's okay, but it can be a bit temperamental. And it's like, if I ask it to do more than like 2 things at once, it starts to basically shit itself. So it's like, yeah, it's not great, and I'm not in a position to replace it. So it's like, but one day, maybe. So yes, it's like, play what you want and don't be a dick to people, basically. Let them play what they want. So yes. Anyway, I am going to end here, and I will see you all in the next video.